This is 0612 TV.
Welcome aboard.
Hello YouTube and welcome to a vlog. Well, I don't do this stuff very often, but today I felt it was necessary to actually address something. What am I talking about? Well, I felt it's time I needed to properly talk about a question that I've been asked alarmingly often. This is actually cropped up on a lot of my videos, and it runs something like this. What are the best settings for the Nikon Coolpix P500? Now, here's the deal. The way a camera works is you have to give it a certain set of settings depending on the situation in which you're going to use it in. And what that means is you will never find one best setting for a camera. Now, the reason why I feel particularly strongly about this is that the Nikon Coolpix P500 is a pretty high-end camera. Not in the sense that it's a great, amazing, expensive camera, but in the sense that it actually gives you a lot of room to do manual settings, or at least to actually dial in some settings to get the look and feel you want. Which is why, of course, wanting to go for just a generic set of best settings doesn't tend to be the greatest idea. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm actually just going to discuss this issue. I'm gonna actually share some tips regarding what are best settings for different situations. Really, even in those situations, best settings can still vary quite significantly. However, that is at least less vague than saying what are the best settings in general. So alright, first, pets. If you have, say, a hyperactive chinchilla and you want to take photos of that guy, chances are you want to use a higher or faster shutter speed to actually prevent motion blur. If you tend to shoot in darker conditions, you might want to use the flashlight. If not, you'll want to go for longer exposures. That means, of course, a longer shutter speed. And of course, that means motion blur. So to prevent motion blur, you might want to get a tripod. If you like to take portraits, well, first of all, a shallow depth of field effect is going to be kind of hard to achieve. Of course, if you want to squeeze every drop of that shallow depth of field out of your camera, you might want to check out this video I did some time back. It actually discusses some ways in which you can actually get even more shallow depth of field. In general, other settings for portrait photography tend to be pretty standard. Just have everything on average and perhaps have good lighting. So hopefully, just with these three examples, which incidentally do cover a lot of the questions I get asked most of the time, hopefully you guys get a better idea as to what best settings you can use. Remember that you have a pretty powerful camera. If you're just gonna put it to one setting that you think is the best and try to use that particular setting under all situations, you're really not making the best out of the several $100s that you put into that camera. Photography in itself is a fun and interesting thing, and really, you should actually take some time to explore and learn what the different settings mean and what they do. Hopefully what I shared in this video will give you a starting example as to what are some of the things that, affects the look and feel of a picture. Hopefully this video has actually gotten you more interested to find out more, and if that's the case, you might want to check out this video that I made. In that particular video, we actually explore things like shutter speed, aperture, ISO, and how tweaking that actually affects the image. If after you've actually listened to all this and you still decide that I don't really want to change settings, they're still a pain in the butt, well then, here are the best settings. Set everything to auto. Everything to auto. I'm actually serious. If you choose not to tweak any settings at all, chances are leaving everything on auto and letting the camera make some of these decisions for you is actually gonna give you a generally average success rate overall. You will never get great, amazing pictures. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. But at the very least, you will be able to get decent images most of the time. And I guess that's really the best a camera can do without you actually jumping in to tweak all the settings. So for anyone else who is actually asking me for best settings, well, looks like you're gonna get a link to this video. As mentioned, I highly encourage you actually try and learn a thing or two about photography. At least to me, it's really fun and rewarding. Anyway, that's all there is for today's video. If you have any comments, queries or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out the official Twitter account for this channel at twitter.com/0612TV. As always, I appreciate every like, favorite and subscription you give me. But until next time, you're watching 0612TV.